It took me a while to actually make a good amount of money just speaking, presenting, selling products. It took me a while, but this is how I 4X'd my income.
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
What allowed me to 4X my income was simply this. I reinvested my money back into the business. And you'll notice that a lot of people who make a lot of money do this, because most people, when they make money, what they usually do is they keep the money. So money came in and they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it again. So they hold on to it. Think about it. I mean, just think about it from a logical standpoint. If you spend $1 and you get $2 back, now you end up getting scared. You're like, I don't know if I could do that again. Let me keep the $2. Now this $2 is eventually it's going to run out. Instead, what you have to do is you say, okay, I put $1 in. I got $2 back. Let me put $2 in. Oh, I got $4 back. Let me put $4 in. Oh, I got $8 back. Let me put $8 back. I got 16. And you keep doing that. That's the whole compound interest. And that's what allowed me to 4X my business. The hardest part is figuring out how to put $1 in and get $2 back. That's the hardest part. Once you figure it out, then you just keep putting money back in. But I was afraid to put the money back in. And I was afraid because I wasn't sure if I was going to get it back. And you don't stop until you hit a roadblock. So, for example, when I was doing Facebook ads, I kept putting money in there, and I just said, like, okay, shit, I'm making money. Oh, all right, let's up it. Let's up the amount we're spending. Oh, let's up it. Eventually, I kept increasing it to a point where I saw a diminishing return. So instead of putting $1 in and getting $4 back, I put $1 in, and then I saw I got $2 back, and I thought, And I put $1 in, I saw I got $1 back, and I thought, okay, hold on a second. And once you hit a roadblock, that's when you kind of stop and you're like, all right, what's going on? What's happening here? And that's what you have to do if you're going to grow your business. You don't stop until you hit that roadblock. Roadblocks, they can include all kinds of things. It's not just when you put money in. They can include hiring. It's kind of like when you hire someone, well, now your profit margins decrease. So you're now paying someone's salary. And when you did make $1 and it turned into $2, well, now that you're paying someone's salary, that just so happens the extra $1 goes to the person you hired. So this can be a little roadblock, and that's why you want to be in a high profit margin business. But still, that's just a little roadblock. Another roadblock is actually a lack of systems. That's a huge roadblock where if you don't have everything in place, where you know what's making you money and you know how $1 is turned into $2, if you don't know how that works, you're always going to struggle. And another big roadblock is communication. So communication meaning, let's say you're selling a lot of products. At a certain point, when you get tons of people buying the products, what's going to happen is the communication is going to start to break down. So whereas you could reply to the emails from people who are saying like, hey, I need to log in and I need to do this and do that, you can reply to those emails yourself. But once you have a ton of people, eventually you're going to have to hire somebody to kind of deal with that. Or maybe you just don't like the people. You're like, stop talking to me. So at a certain point, the communication is going to break down, and that's just a roadblock. But those are good problems, because the hardest thing is to figure out how to turn $1 into $2. That's really the hardest thing. I 4X'd my income because I had systems. I learned to put the systems in place to make me the money, and then once I made the money, I kept putting money back in. Now, I'm not talking about just in advertising. I put money back in where I bought other people's systems to figure out how to get this to work better. I put money back in. I invested in myself. I invested in my business, and then I 4X'd my income. I made a whole lot more money by doing this. You need to figure out how you're making money, and if you don't know how, you need to pay someone to show you how, because it's not going to fix itself. If you don't fix this, it literally won't fix itself. You will literally stay the same and probably get worse. you got to learn to fix it. And the only way you're going to 4X your income is by putting money back in. I guarantee you, if you talk to anyone who's built a business, they built the business because they took the money, they took the dollar, they turned it into 2, then they took 2, turned it into 4, into 8, into 16, into 32, and everything after that. I'm not good with math. But I 4X my income just by reinvesting back into the business. That's what you got to do.